Good evening. I'd like to call to order the Cabarrus County Board of Commissioners regular meeting for October the 21st, 2013. For those of you in the audience, thank you so much. We're glad you're here tonight. If you do have a mobile device, please make sure it's on silent or vibrate. This is a live meeting that's televised on Channel 22, and as much as you love your ringtone, we would rather it not go off during the meeting. But we do appreciate everybody being here tonight. It's nice to have standing room only. At this time, please join me in the presentation of colors by Boy Scout Troop 59 from New Gilead Reformed United Church of Christ.
Forward, march. Prepare to post the colors. Post the colors. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Go back.
I'd also like to call on Pastor Roger Barker with the Rock Christian Church of Concord to do our invocation. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for the invite. I want to open up by just thanking, first of all, the first responders here in the city of Concord for their service of our city, and for you commissioners for your service of our county. And also I want to recognize our military men and women for their service of our country. I also want to open up tonight with a quote from the Mayflower Compact. In the presence of God and one another, we covenant and combine ourselves together into a civil body politic for our better ordering and preservation and furtherance of the ends aforesaid, and by virtue hereof to enact, constitute, and frame such just and equal laws, ordinances, acts, constitutions, and offices. Let us pray. Father, in your divine providence, you have placed these servants in this place at this time to oversee the business of Cabarrus County, and they have so graciously allowed me the privilege to offer this invocation. Through this age-old practice of opening public meetings with prayer, it is with a humble heart that I come to you tonight on behalf of this group and those who sit in service of this county. We are thankful for them and their respective areas of service. I pray that all that is said and done in this place tonight is done with the spirit of love and respect, and that all decisions will be made with the common good of all residents being considered. And in the words of the Reverend Billy Graham, I close this prayer with these words, that in respect of persons of all faiths, I humbly submit my prayer in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to ask for, it's great to have such a good group of Boy Scouts with us tonight. What we'd like for you to do is to have you come forward. You may need to adjust the microphone and tell us who you are and which school you go to and why you like scouting. And after that, Commissioner Burge will be to your left, my right, and he has a county pin for you. So, fellas, if y'all will come up and tell us your name and which school you go to, and tell me something about what you like about scouting, please.
I'm Joshua Doyne, and I go to Concord High School, and I like scouting because it helps me learn new things about life.
Great, thank you.
I'm Curtis Brown. I go to Concord Middle School, and scouting helps me through life, like to learn new things.
Great, thank you.
My name is George Griffin, and I go to Jan Freeze, and scouting helps me learn things and have fun.
I'm glad you're having fun. That was what I was waiting on. Thank you.
I'm Sam Barrier. I go to Concord Middle School, and I like scouting because it helps me out in life.
Great, thank you.
My name is James Barrier. I'm a freshman at Concord High School, and I like scouting because it exposes me to a lot of new things.
I can tell from your badges that you've accomplished quite a lot. Thank you.
My name's Macklin Redd. I go to Jane Freeze Magnet School, and I like Scouts because it helps me in the future.
Great, thank you.
My name is Ben Krieb. I go to Concord First Assembly, and I like scouting because it helps me get through life easier.
Great, thank you.
My name is Ryan Bonnet, and I go to Mount Pleasant Middle School, and I like scouting because it helps you develop new relationships.
Great, thank you.
I'm Kyle Bonnet. I go to Greystone Day School, and I like Scouts because of all the shooting sports you get to do.
Great, thank you.
Hey, my name's Wilson Earhart, and I like Scouts because camping.
Great, thank you.
My name's George Ritchie. I go to Concord Middle School, and I like camping.
Great, thank you.
My name's Hayden Earhart, and I go to Concord Middle School, and I just think Scouts is fun because you get to go camping and everything.
Thank you. And also thank you to the Scoutmasters who are hiding in the back. We appreciate it. Just a comment, as you've probably already noticed, Commissioner Morris is not here tonight. He is out of town. And we hope that he's having a great time where he is. Commissioners, as far as the first thing we have is approval of the minutes, which you've had a chance to look over. At this time, I would accept a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And next, we have the approval of the agenda. I would like to note that under recognitions and presentations, item number 6, Ms. Merriman was not able to be with us tonight, so we will move that to November, and also item number 8, we're going to move to November. So we do have those changes in your agenda that you have in front of you. At this time, I would accept a motion to approve the agenda, including the changes.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, great. First thing that we're going to start with tonight are our recognitions and presentations. Hang on one second. Get to the right page. Okay, the first proclamation that we have tonight is for DECA month. November 2, its proclamation reads, whereas November 2013 has been designated DECA month, and whereas the mission of DECA is to prepare emerging leaders and entrepreneurs in marketing, finance, hospitality, and management, and whereas DECA's guiding principles are designed to explain how DECA fulfills their mission, and whereas DECA enhances the co-curricular education of members through a comprehensive learning program that integrates into classroom instruction, applies learning, connects to business, and promotes competition. And whereas DECA's activities assist in the development of academically prepared, community-oriented, and professionally responsible and experienced leaders. And whereas DECA's attributes and values describe the organization's priorities and standards, including competence, innovation, integrity, and teamwork. Now, therefore, the Cabarrus County Board of Commissioners do hereby proclaim November 2013 as DECA month in Cabarrus County and urge all citizens to become familiar with the services and benefits offered by the DECA chapters at Concord High School and J. M. Robinson High School, and to support and participate in these programs to prepare them for college and professional careers. Do I have a motion to adopt the proclamation?
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, next we have Veterans Day proclamation. Whereas America was founded on the principles of liberty, opportunity, and justice for all, and whereas America has called on her men and women in uniform to protect our national security, to preserve our rights and freedoms, and to keep our democracy safe, and whereas through their steadfast defense of America's ideals, our service members have ensured our country still stands strong, our founding principles still shine, and nations around the world know the blessings of freedom, and whereas on Veterans Day, November the 11th, 2013, we recognize the men and women of our armed forces who valiantly defended these values throughout our nation's history, and whereas we also remember and pay tribute to the American Armed Forces whose courage and sacrifice secures our freedom and keeps the peace and defends our values around the world, And now therefore, the Cabarrus County Board of Commissioners do hereby proclaim November 11th, 2013 as National Veterans Day and call upon our citizens to always remember and honor our veterans and those who continue to serve this country so willingly to preserve the principles of justice, freedom, and democracy for all. Do I have a motion to adopt the proclamation?
So moved. Second.
I have a motion second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, I would like to recognize some nice young men at the back of the room. You'll notice that they're wearing purple. They are with the Military Order of the Purple Heart. Welcome. We're happy to have you with us. We also have a proclamation in honor of the Military Order of the Purple Heart. Whereas the Purple Heart is the oldest military decoration still in present use and was initially created by George Washington in 1782 as the badge of military merit. And whereas the Purple Heart was the first American Service Award made available to the common soldier and is awarded to any member of the United States Armed Services wounded or killed in combat with a declared enemy of the United States. And whereas the mission of the Military Order of the Purple Heart, chartered by an act of Congress, is to foster an environment of goodwill among the combat wounded veteran members and their families, to promote patriotism, to support related legislative initiatives, and most importantly, to make sure we never forget the sacrifices made by those so decorated. And whereas there have been many former Cabarrus County residents who made the ultimate sacrifice in giving their lives in the cause of freedom, and the numerous combat wounded veterans who currently reside within Cabarrus County, and as Purple Heart awardees who contribute to their community in countless ways. And whereas Cabarrus County, North Carolina falls within the purview of Chapter 634 of the Military Order of the Purple Heart and wishes to pledge its strong support for this noble organization and for those who put their lives at risk in service of our country and their fellow citizens. Now therefore be it resolved that the Cabarrus County Board of Commissioners hereby bestow honor and gratitude upon the Military Order of the Purple Heart, Chapter 634, and proudly proclaim and supports the recognition of Cabarrus County as a Purple Heart County in the state of North Carolina. Do I have a motion to adopt?
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And at this time, please join me. I would. And again, thank you, young men, for being with us tonight. We do appreciate you and your service. That's my pleasure to be able to do. The next thing that we have is a proclamation of Weatherization Day 2013. Whereas October is National Energy Awareness Month and October 30th is designated as National Weatherization Day, and whereas the County of Cabarrus has a long-standing commitment to conserve its resources and to help low-income households through its Weatherization Assistance Program, and whereas the state of North Carolina has administered the Weatherization Assistance Program since its inception in 1976, providing a variety of state and federal resources through numerous community action agencies, housing authorities, and departments of local government that serve people in every county in the state. And whereas it is important to recognize the importance of these programs that ensure that all residents, especially those living at or below the federal poverty level, have the opportunity to live in energy-efficient, healthy, safe, and comfortable homes as provided for by the Weatherization Assistance Program. Now, therefore, the Cabarrus County Board of Commissioners do hereby proclaim October 30th, 2013 as Weatherization Day in the County of Cabarrus and urge all citizens to join in this observance. Do I have a motion to adopt the proclamation?
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Do you guys have something that you were going to? I'm sorry, I apologize. Please come up.
First of all, we thank you for having us here tonight. We also have a little gift we'd like to give to Cabarrus County. If you would come forward, please. We'd like to honor you with a plaque from the Military Order of the Purple Heart Special Recognition Award is bestowed with pride to Cabarrus County, North Carolina for your dedication and support honoring America's combat wounded veterans, becoming the Purple Heart County, presented by the Purple Heart Patriot members of Chapter 634, Military Order of the Purple Heart of the USA. And also, we've added here in honor of memory of Simon Wade and Annie Yao Wade, which is Ron Wade's parents, who lived were Cabarrus County residents. Ron was born and raised in Cabarrus County. So,
Great. Thank you so much.
you.
I'm glad I wore my purple tonight. I knew there was a reason why I put my purple on. We really do appreciate you all. Thank you so much.
We'd like to get all the council members in if we could, please.
Y'all want to come down real
All
quick?
commissioners, please.
Commissioners, and we can do a picture here. You're going to have to come in close.
It's good that we do
I like to load on everybody. Be careful with that. I like those.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I do appreciate it.
Come on.
Makes my day.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, thanks again. Okay, the next one we have, let's see. Ben Rose, are you going to do this? Okay. Recognition of Child Support Performance Awards. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening. I have Angela Talley with me as well, too. It's a real pleasure and honor to come before you tonight to inform you of these great awards that we have received for our Child Support Division within the Human Services Department. Child support, as you know, the primary mission and goal of child support is to collect as much financial and medical support on behalf of children from parents that are absent from the home. That is our main mission and purpose. And the child support program was established under the Social Security Act. It's Title 4D under the Social Security Act. And we are so pleased that the work that our Child Support Division does, the staff, the supervisors, and Angela just operate an amazing division. And we collect over $10 million a year in child support in this county alone, which is helps keep kids off of our programs, helps keeps kids healthy with medical insurance. And the state at our September conference, I believe it was, the state recognized our division with some awards. So Angela's going to share those awards with you.
Stay up here. There were 3 performance awards. We received the most improved in the percentage of cases under order for 2013 fiscal year. We received the most improved in the establishment area of self-assessment, which was also getting those cases under order for fiscal year 2013. And we received the only award in the state for a county that received all of its incentive goals, federal incentive goals, and all of its self-assessment goals. And that was one that we just are really very, very proud of because we worked very hard and we overcome the barriers that were out there in front of us. And so we're very proud of that and appreciate your recognition.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate all the hard work that you guys do.
These are hanging on the wall in our office, so if you want to come by and take a look at them, you're welcome to. Thank you.
We'll have to do that, especially on Diddy Day.
Yeah.
That's right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, we've got Ned Hudson and Commissioner Burridge. I think you're going to do a presentation.
I think
Dennis?
Dennis is going to do the presentation. I'm
Dennis?
just getting the word.
Okay.
Good evening. Thank you for this opportunity. I also have with us tonight Sarah Piper, the newest member of our staff. The North Carolina District Employees Association has selected Cabarrus Soil and Water Conservation District Secretary-Treasurer Ned Hudson as the 2013 North Carolina Outstanding Conservation District Board member. Mr. Hudson's nomination is now under consideration for recognition at the national level. This award is presented annually to recognize the professionalism and dedication of the people working behind conservation district programs across the nation. Mr. Hudson was previously recognized by his peers as Supervisor of the Year in 2008, a year after he served as President of the North Carolina Association of Soil and Water Conservation Districts. So I ask Commissioner Burridge, who is the liaison to the Soil and Water Conservation District, to step forward and present this award.
Mr. Hudson, on behalf of this board and the citizens of Cabarrus County, we want to thank you. You're well deserving of this. We thank you for the years that you've spent preserving our water and the things that you've been doing. We appreciate it. You well deserve it. Thank you very much.
Mr. Hudson, would you like to make some comments?
Well, I'd just like to say that it's been a great experience being a supervisor. I think this is my 17th year. I want to thank you, the board, for your support through the years for this program, because without your support, we could not do the things that we do. And we've got an outstanding staff in Dennis, and then our new person here, Sarah, and also Daniel McClellan. And it's a pleasure to work with them, and they deserve a lot of credit for me receiving this, because, and you do too, because, like I say, without you, this program we wouldn't get very much done. But it is a great program, and we know we're all are concerned with conservation and through education, through preservation of our farmland and also preservation of our natural resources. They're all very important. We know that we're supposed to use them, but we got to use them wisely, and so this is what it's all about. So again, I thank you for your support and what all you've done for us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, the next thing that we have, Commissioners, are public comments. Okay, I'll try to get these kind of grouped. First up, Mr. Larry Marlowe.
Hello, I'm Larry Marlowe. I live on Odell School Road. And I'm glad that I saw the veterans here today. I hadn't thought about saying this, but most people don't know it, but the Veterans Office is right back here, and they collect food all the time for veterans. A lot of veterans come in, and they don't have any food, don't have a job. So they need some help on food. We do it from our Sunday school class about 5 times a year, helping out. But since we're on good TV, all y'all flow to the office, please. And second thing I want to talk about, it bothered me last month when we talked about Mr. Rose being way behind on food stamps and trying to get caught up, and hired 10 extra people, and he told me tonight they're catching up but still way behind. And it's a shame that we in this county let our folks, Cabarrus County people, go 10 and 11 weeks without food because we don't have enough help to get the applications processed. One thing I want to leave you with, if your driving license was going out tomorrow and you went up to the driving license office and they said, sorry, we can't help you. We're going to close from 8 o'clock to 12 to help get caught up, but it's going to be at least 10, possibly 11 weeks to get your license. How would you feel? You'd feel real mad and wanting to find out from the state why they didn't hire enough people. Well, that's my theory too. I think the 10 that you hired last month gets over today or tomorrow, and they're not caught up yet. So why not continue hiring them, let them work until they get caught up? It's not fair. We are Cabarrus County people. We don't need to let our people go hungry. And it's wrong. And y'all might not see it that way, but if you don't see it that way, bring some food to VA. Thank you.
Commissioners, you do have at your seat, Mr. Marlowe copied an article in case you missed it in the paper that he wanted to share with you. Also, I'm used to Mr. Marlowe because he's here for the long haul. He's here every month. When you come up, if you could tell us where you live, that would be very helpful also for the record. Next, Fred Monty.
County Commissioners, Chairman.
Welcome, thank you.
My name's Fred Money. I'm known as Gonzo Fred and also Phoenix because I crash and burn all the time. I'm here about Bruton Smith and the Speedway, and I'm involved with certain inside information about how the racetrack, the race could be leaving for reasons of the road thing. And I was asked to start looking at it, what to do to maybe help it, because I have a lot of friends, their jobs and income comes from it. And I've been in front of the Charlotte City Council 3 times because I'm over in Charlotte, and I'm talking about their responsibility for chipping in because of the money that comes to Charlotte, as well as I've been up to Mooresville and started talking to them about in Iredell County about the money they should chip in because of the money that they benefit from it. There was a meeting the other day, but put on the University of North Carolina, says Sports and New South, Culture and Clash, and I've got a copy to give y'all if y'all want to. Who can I hand it to? I'm gonna hold one so I can read it. I was down there because of what's going on, and as you look up, you can see where there's a Dr. Mark Rosenthal, and he talked about the benefits of the sports and teams and big teams and the big things going on in the cities and stuff. And the one thing that Charlotte didn't want to do is mess with any of their structures going on. And then gets up Ron Kimball, the assistant city manager, and he talks about what there's $6 billion that comes to the area, and the Charlotte Motor Speedway is just right across the line, and they've got the NASCAR museum and stuff. So after that, they let anybody want to talk, and I did, and I'll be handing to you. I kind of handed his butt on a platter in front of everybody, because all these were city people and county people coming to how they would benefit their cities and stuff with sport franchises and stuff. And that this Mark Rosenthal was shocked to the point that all these people around here would even consider letting him move the racetrack. I mean, a race or something with the money. He's saying there's $6 billion comes to the area with all the race teams. Well, I have to just Google a little bit, and I'm just coming up with kind of off the top of my head with some evidence to it being right, that if there's $6 billion, then there's $3 billion that comes to Cabarrus, Concord, Cabarrus County. I mean, $2 billion to Charlotte, Mecklenburg County, $2 billion to the Mooresville, Iredell County, and it's always been known that half our money goes into taxes somewhere. So that's $1 billion that comes into the tax coffers of the 3 areas, but how does that dollar break down? Well, say 30% goes to the federal government, income tax and gasoline tax, you buying gas over and over. Another 30% income tax and stuff to the state government and gas and other things going on. But the main thing that comes to the cities and counties is a sales tax and some property tax, and that's up to about 40%, which means there's $400 million a year by his statement that's coming to the 3 counties, and there's $900 million a year coming to the state. So my position is to come out with that. Somebody needs to get him his $80 million back and go a little further, that there's no property tax paid on it, but the other ones do, so their slush funds or something, they chip in. $1 million a piece, the state chips in $2 million. Instead of getting $2 million in property tax, y'all get $4 million because y'all handle the infrastructure. It's like a cash cow, and they're not doing anything but rake the cream off the top. If you do it like a triangle, where each one is equal and the track's in the center, but it's also the track as a table where all the race teams and everything and the NASCAR races are on, and if you knock a leg out from that table, it's going to fall over, and you're looking at the position that all 3 races could leave. There's contingency plans going on as what to do with the track, and since he lost his thing up in the appeals court, it was in the paper the other day, he's getting leaned on pretty heavy by Las Vegas. And these are billionaires out there they associate with and stuff. So I'm just saying, if anybody wants to talk to me, I'm in a position to be like a diplomacy, to where I'm talking about that the rest of them have to give y'all money and the city and county money. But but you're gonna mess around, and when these NASCAR wives find it out, you're gonna have this room full of them, because they're not they done made their nest. They're not into being pulled up by the hair of the roots and taking their family somewhere else. So I'm just saying, pay attention, start talking to somebody, talk to his office, say, we're aware of this, we want to start working something out with the state officials and the other county officials.
Thank you. Next, we have Liz Gray. Welcome.
Hello. Good evening, Commissioners. I come to you today not on behalf of the arts or economic development for our area, but as a hardworking mother of 2 beautiful little boys. I am also a single mother, and I am disgusted by the remarks that were made towards hardworking parents that live in Cabarrus County last week. Without programs like Kids Plus or the More at 4 program subsidies, I would have failed as a working professional. I would have had to collect benefits such as food stamps, Medicaid, or even unemployment. But thanks to these 2 specific programs, I was able to continue working and supporting my family through difficult times. My oldest son, Logan, attends the after-school program at Beverly Hills Elementary School. He has gotten involved with the 4-H program and is the vice president this year for his club. He is an A honor roll student and receives help with his homework at Kids Plus. Recently, I have become more economically stable. Logan will not need these services anymore. But without this program, our family would have not been able to get back on our feet. My 4-year-old Liam attends Upper Room Childcare Development Center, who has a More at 4 program in their facility. They even have room for more students. He comes home every day with homework and uses these comes every day homework and tells me about his studies. He is even learning other languages and uses these learned phrases frequently in our household. Liam will not be receiving this education if the program was ever to have been cut, not expanded, or supported by Cabarrus County. I waited over 1.5 years to receive my child care support. I received practically no child support. I cried the day that my children were accepted because I knew I would be able to provide a better life for them and they would be receiving a better education. It is time to end the suffrage and worry for hardworking single parents in Cabarrus County. I took last week's actions as a vicious attack on single working families in our area. We need to let parents work and grow as productive members of society. By cutting any of these services, that we are looking at 700 children without public education, 1,000 teachers without jobs, and countless child care facilities in the areas that will have to close their doors. According to the North Carolina Council for Women, households headed by single mothers are most vulnerable to economic hardship. Affordable quality child care, critical workforce support for working parents through some families, the cost of child care is prohibitively expensive. In North Carolina, the average annual fees for full-time child care in a center are $9,185 for an infant and $7,774 for a 4-year-old child like my son Liam. The average annual fees for a full-time care in-home is $7,106 for an infant, $6,227 for a 4-year-old child. By comparison, average annual tuition fees for a public 4-year public education in a North Carolina university. With these numbers in mind, the average working single parent brings in around $20,000 a year or less. Despite the relatively higher poverty rates among women in certain parts of North Carolina, very few women in the state receive cash assistance from the North Carolina Temporary Aid to Needy Families. The time is now for you all to not only support, but maybe even consider expanding these programs for families like mine who had to use those services. Please don't leave any child behind in our area. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Next we've got quite a few to get through, please. Next, Ann Benfield, please. And you have a packet at your seats, which I know you're going to reference, but Commissioners,
reference it.
You do have a packet at your seat. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity to share today. I'm Ann Benfield from the Cabarrus Partnership for Children. We provide services in the county for children birth to 5 years of age in health, early education, family support, and education. We have only 2,000 days between the time a baby is born and when they enter kindergarten. Experiences during the first 2,000 days have a lasting impact on the later learning, health, and success of a child. Children's earliest experiences determine how their brains are wired, laying the groundwork for future health and form the foundation for social and emotional skills needed for academic and workplace success. 90% of a child's brain is developed by the age of 5. We need to get it right. With quality early childhood education, children will be school ready, have higher graduation rates, and grow into productive citizens and valuable employees. A child's quality of life and contribution he or she will make to society can be directly traced to the first few years of their life. The North Carolina childcare industry generates $1.7 billion in revenue annually and provides more than 49,600 full-time equivalent jobs. The childcare industry also provides a safe and learning environment for most of the 445,000 young children whose parents are in the workforce. 59% of children ages 5 and younger have all parents working. Together, these parents earn almost $12.5 billion annually. High-quality childcare centers increase school readiness and improve K-12 outcomes. The childcare industry also benefits all other industries throughout the state by enabling parents of young children to work productively and attend school or training, which ensures a well-prepared workforce. Longitudinal studies show that high-quality childcare programs can save taxpayer dollars by increasing the need for special education, lowering the rates of juvenile delinquency, adult incarceration, and welfare participation. High-quality childcare also delivers a high rate of return on investment. The Federal Reserve Bank in Minneapolis analyzed rates of return from investing in model childcare programs for low-income children, which receive childcare subsidy. They found a 16% return on our investment, considerably higher than the long-range return on U.S. stocks. If you, the county commissioners, would ever refuse to accept federal childcare subsidy dollars in Cabarrus County, the state would reallocate the $5.5 million that Cabarrus County should receive for working families to another county in our state. It will not be returned to the federal government to pay down the federal government debt to China, so please read the economic impact study on the childcare industry in North Carolina. It absolutely builds a ready workforce for the future, laying the groundwork for North Carolina's future economic success. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Amos McCleary. Did I pronounce that correctly? McClory.
Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome.
I'm Amos McClory. I'm chairman of the board of the Logan Community Child Development Center here in Concord. You've heard from Ann and some others of why I'm here. I'm here to speak about a decision that was made last week also. So I'm going to give you a third of what they talked about in a brief comment. And excuse me for reading. Along with so many other child care development providers in Cabarrus County, the Logan Child Development Center is one of the oldest in the county. Since 1955, our doors have never closed. During our 55 years providing quality service to the county's most needed population, recently, the governor of North Carolina said, sometime we have to step on a few toes. It appears to me that the commissioners want to be the first to do so. The toes of children. The impact on this action that was taken last week, as you've heard earlier, over 700 county children may be affected. over 125 childcare centers whom employ over 1,000 childhood educators are directly affected. The short list of some of the impact is that families would be forced to quit their jobs because they cannot afford childcare. Teachers would be forced to lose their jobs, and some centers would be forced to close. Because of the level of subsidies we receive at Logan, we become one of those centers that may be in jeopardy after 58 years. We're not sure how these actions say from you, the Cabarrus County Commissioners, that you care about children and working families. I do remind you that all of those folks are taxpayers. And I put my paper down and I'll say, you don't want to be on the wrong side of this. And sometimes people don't hear me and I say, you don't want to be on the wrong side of history. And because I say sometimes I talk too fast, I'll slow it down just a little bit more. You don't want to be on the wrong side of his story.
Next we have Rhoda Waters. Did I get that right, Rhoda?
You did. You did.
Great, thank you.
My name is Rhoda Waters. I'm at Crestside in Branchview. I am a resident of Cabarrus County. I also do have so much statistics and numbers and things that I can give you, but I want to paint a clearer picture. Had we been faced with the choice of closing on tomorrow, I was 95% subsidy. So I would have, after 13 years, would have had to close as well. And that center has been on the corner of Old Charlotte Road for 33 years. To paint a clearer picture, we were told to do what we could do to help the parents. But when you got single parents with 3 children under the age of 5, there's not much help you can give them. We've done everything we've been asked to do from our state. We've educated our teachers. My teachers are all degree teachers, early childhood degrees, every last one of them. I've been a 5-star center since I took over that center in 2000. My teachers have done everything that was asked of them. The parents, subsidy, we can't go without subsidy in Cabarrus County. We cannot do it. So many of our parents would be affected by that. The need is so great. I had a parent meeting last Monday. You have a mother who makes $8 an hour. She gets paid every Friday. She has 3 children. The rate is $7.58 for an infant in my facility. For her 2 preschool children would be $585. What kind of help could I give her and still pay the teachers their salary? And my teachers stepped up and asked to hold their checks to help those parents because we didn't know exactly what we would do for them. We started collecting food, formula, things for a building that I had to shut down. I've already closed 1 licensed facility behind me. I moved to Cabarrus County from Mecklenburg County after moving from Texas. We were military. And I didn't like the way Mecklenburg County done things, and I didn't like their school systems. So I've raised my children here in Cabarrus County. My son came out of Concord High in 2009. My daughter's a senior there this year. This is our community. It is not the state's responsibility. It's not the federal government responsibility. This is our responsibility. This is our city. As the pastor said so gracefully, we have to do what's right by our residents, by the residents of Cabarrus County. Crime, we don't even want to imagine the things that would happen when people can't feed their children, when they can't work. These are the things that we would be faced with. And we're still not out of this. We have to decide what we want to do. We have to decide what's best for our children, for our families. They get vouchers because they are working parents, not because they're in school anymore. They work 30 hours a week. That's what's required of them to hold on to those vouchers. So remember that they are working parents. They are working for everything that they need to take care of their children, and we have to help them. Help us help them.
Waters. Ms. Waters, is your daughter Janae? It's all right, you have a good daughter. It's always good if you have a child and somebody says something good about them. That's coming from a mother. I always think that's a good thing. Danielle Malden.
Hi, I'm Danielle Malden. I live and work in Kannapolis, North Carolina. And I am the administrator for Kids Corner Child Development Center in Kannapolis. On October 10th, I attended the meeting when you voted 3-2 to suspend child care subsidies on the 22nd. You stated that the federal government failed us and that you were throwing us a lifeline, more than the federal government gave us. While your decision could have been worse, it most certainly could have been better, with minimal financial exposure. We elected and/or appointed you because we hoped you would be leaders. You had the opportunity to stand up for your working citizens and children in your county. Instead, just like the federal government, the majority of you acted more like followers and sold us short. While I was disappointed in the vote, I was disgusted by Commissioner Meismer's elitist attitude. I and many others have prayed for you and wish to educate you more about a program that you are so quick to dismiss. Subsidized childcare in Cabarrus County is unlike many others and is an investment in our community. It helps cover the cost of childcare to families so that they may work, support their families, and provide a quality early childhood education. Whereas the state allows subsidies for students, part-time, and full-time families, Cabarrus County has reduced its benefits already to only full-time working families and has even made cuts to children aged 8 and over. This means all recipients are taxpayers, whom you are so concerned about. You made a decision that left many families scrambling, leaving very few days to make a quality decision in regards to working in childcare. Many families stressed over the thought of potentially losing their jobs and applying for welfare programs to help them support their families if they could not. For so many of its families, it is a hand up. Many families work full-time, have finished high school, college, received a degree, and even come off the program and other programs completely. But not only did you fail low-income working families, you failed others. Foster parents, kinship care families, child protective service families were more than just an oversight to you. Our county made a commitment to help support these foster parents and kinship care guardians, local heroes. Many of these families serve children with special needs. My center has cared for children with severe brain injuries, children with feeding tubes, children abused both physically and mentally. Their appointed custodians made a choice to sacrifice much time, blood, sweat, tears, and money to care for these children and maintain their households. Children, all children, are not to blame for their circumstances. Mr. Meismer, my business model may not be one that you so desire at your young and zealous age. The children of my center may even be a more diverse population than you are comfortable with. But the business model I choose to use is one of education and, most importantly, love. We love our children, all of them, and that is exactly why we have been in business for close to 30 years. When you do have a child, it is highly likely that if you choose to provide him or her with a quality early childhood education, the center you choose will not be based upon its enrollment, but an educated staff who will love and nurture your child unconditionally. I would like to extend a personal invitation for you all to visit our center. Please meet our families, children, and staff. So in case there comes a time again when you must make another decision in regards to childcare, you will be able to genuinely applaud everyone's efforts. We are paying attention. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Kathy Hunter. Welcome.
Thank you. I'd like to thank you for letting me have the opportunity to talk to you. I live in Cabarrus County, and I'm here as a foster parent. I relocated to the area about 8 years ago from up north, and I had the opportunity to look at all of your biographies online, and I see that all of you give back to the community in many various ways. My way was to go and take foster care classes and to give back to the community as a foster parent. I also work full-time, and I'm a single person. And I just am reaching out to you. These children that are in foster care are your responsibility. I am taking and opening my home and my heart to them. I'm asking you to give them the support that they need so that they can go to daycare, so that I can continue to have my full-time job. Because the stipend that is provided to me for these children will nowhere near cover the expense of raising children. Over the last 3 years, I've had the opportunity to have around 13 children in my home at various times. Every single one of them has been to Kids Corner. I cannot say enough about how much love and attention they have received there, never based on who was paying the bill for them to go there. It was always based on what their needs were. And I've had some very difficult children that they have helped me deal with and bring to a very good, end where they've been reunited with their parents or moved on into adoptive homes. So I'm reaching out to you, asking you to do your part. I do my part by opening my home to these children. I give them lots of love, lots of attention. They get what they need on a personal level. What I need to know is that in January, when we go through this cycle again, because we all know chances are it is going to happen again, that the people that I elected to put into office here are going to stand up and support the children that I need supported. Thank you for your time.
Amy Steele.
Good afternoon, or good evening. My name is Amy Steele, and I live in Laurel Park here in Cabarrus County. I'd like to address you all from my heart in support of the many child care provider centers who are represented here today. As a 19-year-old who freshly moved to Cabarrus County, I was married with my husband at the time, and still the same husband, Michael, and I went to college at UNC Chapel Hill. As a sophomore, we decided to go ahead and get married, tied the knot, we got married. And 20 days after our one-year anniversary, we welcomed our first child. As a fresh college student, as a freshly married young person, we knew that we had to either make a decision for me to stay home with my child or to make a decision for me to continue on and finish my education so that I could further myself after having been raised in the ghetto of Houston, Texas. I chose the first decision, which was to go ahead and finish school. Had it not been for child care subsidy offered by the Department of Social Services, we would not have been able to support our family and provide quality child care on my husband's $24,000 a year salary at the City of Concord Police Department. We continued to use the child care subsidies for 3 years until I graduated. When I graduated, we no longer needed the services of the Department of Social Services. What that means for me is that our quality of life was better, but that could also open up an opportunity for someone else who needed that subsidy to be able to use it. We progressed on throughout our life. We have 5 children now, and we currently still don't need the Department of Social Services funds, but there are others who do. As of last week, I was faced with the decision, and my husband as well, with trying to scramble, as Ms. Malden said, to find a child care center for my child or somewhere for my child to attend, because the center he did attend had a large amount of students who needed that subsidy and who needed to have the center remain open for various reasons. Obviously, we all wanted it to stay open, but who could not afford to send their children to the child care center without subsidy. That created a panic. Now I'm an assistant principal of a high school. Of course, I'm trying to help your children and all of our constituents' children, to make good choices, to do good things, to graduate, to go on to college, etc. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking of where my child is going to go for childcare because his center may be closing due to the decisions that this commissioner's board made the week before last. Now I'm thankful, and I think that we're in good standing and the center won't close. I'm thankful that that has kind of been worked out in the federal government, but I'm really not sure of where we stand in your decisions to affect child care subsidies the way that they would have been affected had your decision stood and had the government not responded the way they did on Thursday. So I'm coming here to plea as a parent, as an educated person, as a citizen of Cabarrus County, as as well as a Cabarrus County school employee, to please monitor the decisions you make and see how they will impact not only those directly, but also others indirectly. Thank you for your time.
Okay, that ends our informal public comment section.
May I make one comment, Madam Chairwoman? I just wanted to thank all of you for coming out here. It's tremendous to see all of you out. I know that there are a lot of other things that you could be doing with your evening, and I appreciate very much the fact that you've decided tonight to participate in your government. The more of that we have, the better. I encourage anybody that wants to come and speak tonight. I'm thankful that you have, and anybody that wants to come in the future and speak to us, come back and speak to us. Thank you very much for coming.
Okay, next we have old business, which we talked about at our retreat about the impact of the federal government shutdown. Ben Rose is going to come and give us an update. Welcome back.
Thank you. We had a very interesting past 2 weeks, to say the least, with the federal government shutdown situation. And thank you again for allowing us to come give you an update. We are happy to report that, of course, as you know, the federal government has reopened and federal funds are flowing to us again. All of our funds have been reinstated back to October 1st. And we were having conference calls daily with the state to get information regarding how that will look now going forward. And basically, we are in a situation where we are returning to our normal functions pre the shutdown. We have suspended the Childcare subsidy issue as directed by the state to do so, and have the only other remaining really issue that we have is the Work First reallocation that we did. The Work First Employment Services Program, the state basically, as you recall, when we met last, they had actually suspended that program, and we requested from you to reallocate 4 workers at that time to economic services so that they could continue to help there. The state, to get that suspension, the state basically got a waiver for the entire month. So Workforce Employment Services will actually not be reinstated officially until November 1st. Therefore, we still have we basically have 2 allocated workers that are still remaining in the economic services area. 2 of the workers that were reallocated have been able to come back to programs that we have made effective today, which is our emergency assistance program and our 200%. But we still have the 2 social workers that deal with workforce employment and economic services. They are starting to do some transition to get the program going back up again. They are calling clients, they are calling workforce sites that we have, but that is not 100% of their time. So I would probably like to respectfully request that if you would allow us to keep them maintained in economic services until November 1st, and then they can return back to their normal jobs. Outside of that, the only other issue that I think is a little concerning for us going forward is regarding the social services block grant. While we receive a total, we probably receive well over $800,000 in social service block grant funding to our department to provide key critical services such as child welfare and adult protective services and guardianship services for adults. That program, while it has been reinstated and we have our funding now, there is going to most likely be a cut to that program in January with the sequester, and there is current federal legislation right now to potentially eliminate that funding to the department, most likely in the next fiscal year. So if we lose that funding, we will lose some critical federal funding that goes to cover mandated services that we cannot reduce. So we would basically be facing further unfunded mandates up and above, to some degree, what we already face. So that's something we definitely need to monitor and keep an eye on. But other than that, you have an executive summary of the shutdown and the resolutions that we have for now. One thing that we did as a department and our key staff, and Mike joined us for it last week, we went through the planning process. Actually, I think the shutdown had been kind of resolved by the time we met, but we still went through the strategic process for bringing forward plans for you if the shutdown had continued. And I think that was a good exercise for us because, as you know, in 3 months' time, we might be right back here. So we now have strategic plans in place to help hopefully deal with that. But, again, our hope is we won't have to cross that bridge again in January, but it is a distinct possibility. So with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Let me make sure I understand two things. On the block grant, you said that it could be cut in January as a result of the sequester. Would it be cut in January? Would it be cut at the end of the fiscal year, which would be June the 30th?
We would see a reduction in our current allocation potentially in January if the sequester cuts are continue to be implemented. So that would actually be a reduction of our current allocation.
Okay, and those are mandated services. So if the federal government doesn't provide the funds, are you saying that the county would have to provide the funds?
At that point, yes, there would be, because the state has actually taken away state funds and replaced some state funds with social services block grant, especially in the child protective services area. And those are mandated federal programs that we have to provide. So yes, we would most likely be looking at county funding.
Okay, since this would be the second year of the sequester, I'm not certain that there's been a lot of debate on changing that.
Right.
And I don't know if you can get the information by our November work session. The deadline for submitting for that agenda is Friday, by the way.
Right.
So I don't know if that would be November, if we can talk about it in November, if it would be December. December's getting pretty close, so.
Yeah, we'll try to do it by November, but at the very latest, we can get it to you by December, too.
Okay, maybe if you can get what you have in November.
Certainly.
And then we'll put it on again in December at the work session so that we can make sure that we fully understand and
Most definitely.
possibly have it on the January work session, because that would be getting right, I think, January 15th.
Correct,
is the day.
Is the continuing resolution.
Right, so we need to double check that as far as if anything's going to be cut. There's two items. One is the current date, drop dead date, but there's also the sequester date.
Correct.
So they all fall in there
That's correct.
very close, and we
That
need
is
to be
correct.
kept aware of what's going on with that. So I appreciate that. And then the request that you have for us tonight is that you have 2 employees who are currently in economic services, and you want us to approve them staying in economic services through October the 31st.
Correct.
Okay. Are there funds that we would need to allocate for that, or you have funds available?
We have funds available. They are in budgeted positions. And of course, when they work in Work First Employment Services early in the year, it's primarily county dollars that are paying for it anyway, because that's the maintenance of effort that we've talked about. But of course, when they're in economic services, they're able to pull down some federal funds. So we keep them helping us in an area that obviously needs help. And again, they really won't be back up running full steam till November 1st.
Okay, but it would be through October 31st,
Correct.
not through November 1st.
Correct.
Right.
November 1st, they
Friday,
will return.
November 1st, they would go back to where they normally would be.
That's correct.
Okay. So, Commissioners, at this time, do you have any questions or clarifications that you need from Mr. Rose? If not, we need a motion that allows the 2 employees to continue in economic services through October 31st with no impact to the county budget. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and I have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
And I believe we were going to provide under old business a North Carolina fast update as well too, if that's okay.
Sure.
Is that okay?
That's fine.
I'll ask Trish and Diane to come up as well too. We wanted to, since we are kind of at the end of the temporary assistance, we did want to provide you an update on the progress that we've made, the challenges that we still have going forward. We've made some progress, and that's a good thing. The state has helped us as well with some cases. We've been tracking numbers very closely to try to get a feel for where we are at with the temporary assistance, to give you some feedback, to see if we have any further options going forward there. So I'll let Trish and Diane kind of report to you on the numbers, and then we can ask questions from there.
Well, you had approved 10 temps to start working with us immediately, and we were able to bring 7 temps on the week after you approved them. And their first week, they were in training, and part of the week, the rest of the week, they started doing what we call submitting applications, and that is where they took a paper document and they put it in NC-FAST. So for a case to be processed, it has to live in the computer system. So the temps got started the first week. 7 temps did 116 actions, and so they were able to do 5.5 actions per day, which is well under our expected 10 to 15. Learning curve, we felt that was a good start. The second week, those 7 temps did 230 application submissions, which took them up to 6.5 actions per day. The third week, we were able to finalize the other 3 remaining temps. They were brought in. And so the third week, we had 10 temps, 3 were in training, and then the other 7. So that week, they did an average of 7.1 actions, which was a total of 355 actions that week. We're looking at the 4th week of data, which ended last week. We lost 1 temp on the 14th. She got another full-time job, which we were very glad for her about. Last week, 9 temps did 426 actions, which took us up to 8.5 actions. So a month of working in the system and 8.5 application submissions is where we're at. And given a little more time, we could maybe get to the 10, but the cases are, when you have large households, I think, I was living in a world that I was hoping we could do more than we could. But we feel good about where they are and what they've done for us. So in the 4 weeks that we've had them to date, they have submitted 1,127 applications for us, which then allowed our application processors, who are our eligibility workers, to actually start processing those cases that much faster. So they have been a tremendous help to us, and we thank you for that. And we estimate, we haven't got all our billing in, but we estimate we've spent about $17,000 of the I believe it was $28,000 allocated. We're spending about $5,100, $5,200 a week. Were we fully, with the 9, that's not the 10, $5,200 approximately a week. So we can tell you that when we came to you originally, we were working on May applications. We are now working on August applications. So we are moving forward. We are still not within the state 30-day timeline, but we are certainly moving a lot closer to getting cases processed, applications processed within the 30 days. So that's the application side. In food stamps, you also have what we call a review or recertification. Every 6 months, a client has to provide their information. We have to look at it, and we have to start the process all over again, basically. And so those are the cases that we sent to Raleigh. We sent, I'm trying to get all my numbers right for you, we sent 831 cases to Raleigh right about the time we met last time. We thought it was going to be 1,000, but it was 831 that actually went. Then, just a few weeks ago, they said they had some additional time and could take some more cases. So we sent another 663 recertifications that were the ones due in August. So, and then about a week later, last week, they found some more time. They haven't processed all the ones that we've sent, but we sent another 585 up. So the state will have a total of 2,079 of our recertifications when it's all said and done. In the time period that we've been working, we average about 1,200 recerts a month. So had we not had any help from the temps or the state, we would have been looking at over 4,500 recertifications. We have about 1,100 old recertifications left. So again, we can show we were goodness, we had a few cases that were still recertifications from May, but when we approached y'all, we were looking at June recertifications. And so again, we're almost done. We have about little less than 100 Julys left, and the remaining, we have about half of August and about half of September's that we have left to do. So we have, like I said, about 1,189 recerts that are with the county that the state, that they did not get sent to the state. What we did was we did not send anything to the state that we had not already gathered verifications for. So when a client is due for, when they submit an application or when they do a review, if they're working, if they're getting any income, if they've moved, anything, we have to re-verify everything. So we look at the whole household, and then we re-look at that picture, and we have to verify everything. So that is really what has taken us the time, the recertifications, the verifying. We are sitting at about 5.78 recertifications a day completed, my staff, and that is after they've requested the verifications and they're able to key it. That is below the 10 that we thought they could do. We're also sitting at, once the application is submitted by the temp or by the worker, we're looking at, once information comes in, they're able to do about 7 per day. Again, it's lower than we thought, but what we did this 4-week period, we had no numbers to go on. We had state suggested numbers, we had some county input, but we actually did little sheets and everybody tick marked, and how many did you do? And we started getting averages. So we feel better about our numbers, and we're, in the old system, we did what we call resource management. So I could tell you that it took 2.1 hours to do this action, and we don't have that luxury with NCFAS. So I'm building that, so I can eventually say it takes this long to do an action, and this is how much it costs us. But I haven't got to that point yet. So we're doing a lot of tick marks, and so what we feel like, we're obviously still behind. As you heard the first speaker speak, we are behind. We're not as behind as we thought we would be without the help. We were much further ahead, but we do need more time. And so our request would be to allow us to continue the phone, certainly shutting them off. I know that's not a great customer service policy, but it really has helped staff. We have not stopped, we haven't closed our doors. So if somebody comes in needing our help, we're there. It's just the phone call. So we're not shutting our doors like DMV would or anything like that. We are still there. You walk in our doors even at 1 second to 5, we're here for you. So so we would ask that, we could continue the phone policy maybe another month and present with, where we are. And we would love to keep the temps for at least another month. We feel like 2 months, and we hopefully will be out. I'm saying hopefully because they get better every day, and the system has certainly not had the issues. It still has issues, but we're certainly being able to overcome those a little bit easier than we used to. So with all that said, I'm asking for a little more help and hope that you guys can help us.
Okay, I was trying to write down quickly while you were speaking. You said that you had spent $17,000 so far.
Estimated. We haven't got all the invoices in, so what I did, I just took an average 40 hours, and it looks like around $17,000.
Okay, and so the balance that you have remaining?
Would be about $10,000, which would get us maybe another 2 weeks. So beyond the time, well, this week we're working on our 5th week, so I did not include that in the total. So we'll have spent almost $22,000 by the end of this week.
Okay, so to get another month, how much do you think you need?
If we could keep the 9, we would need $20,000 for another month, $20,700.
Okay, so to keep 9 people employed for another month, hopefully we'll get you called up. We're very, very close to it. Are you still able to send recertifications to Raleigh?
I believe we've sent all we can send at this point. We will certainly broach that again, or if there's anything else they can help us do, we'll certainly do that. but I think we've tapped out.
Okay, so you're looking that you would be doing the applications and recertifications over the next month?
Well, I think
what's
it will
there?
take us longer than a month, but we're asking for at
Right.
least a month of help.
Okay.
And we think that will like I said, we're starting to get the numbers, we're starting to have a flow. We feel like we've got some strategies in place.
Okay, so in order to do that, though, you need $20,700?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure I understood correctly and got my notes straight. So, Commissioners, do you have questions?
I have a question. When we originally talked about this policy, it was the temps were going to be adding to the temps and the state were going to be supplementing your workforce in doing this, but I don't hear any numbers from what your workforce has performed in these numbers. I hear the temps have done 1,027 and the state has done 2,079, but you have 33 employees that we're going to be working on these applications as well, and I haven't heard any of those, and that's 3 times the amount of the temps.
Our staff has done 29, almost 3,000 actions, and that is primarily the food and nutrition staff. The 4 who were call center were not as fully freed up as we thought. The other remaining staff were dedicated to Medicaid due to, we had other NC-FAST rollout, and so Medicaid has been struggling as well. And we don't want Medicaid to get into the problems we're having with NC-FAST. So we dedicated some of our staff who were originally going to be deployed to FNS to Medicaid, because we really don't want families not to have food and not to have health care and medicines that they need. So we're trying to minimize the crisis in other areas.
I think last week you said, or last month, pardon me, that you were 4,500 behind. You said tonight that you get about 1,200 research a month, which would put you at about 6,000 actions needed. If your staff has done 3,000, the state has done 2,079, the temps have done 1,027, that puts you at 6,100.
Well, the temps are doing a different action. The temps are focusing on applications. The recertifications are one process, the applications are another process. So the temps submitted over 1,100 applications so that we could process them. And of the 1,100 that the temps processed, submitted, we have processed 874. So what happens is the temp has to put it into NC-FAST. Then a worker comes behind them and they approve it once we get all the information. Because the temp, we did not train them to do eligibility. There's no way that we could have done that in the amount of time. They'd still be in training. So we took 3 days and we just taught them NC-FAST King, and now they've learned things. We're going to use them. If we can continue, they're going to help us send out requests for verification, and we're going to teach them how to do some basic one-person household cases so they can process. You don't have any income, you don't have anything, but we cannot teach them full eligibility in the amount of time we have.
I have been trying to talk to some people at the state about why this is going so poorly, and everybody always points the finger at everybody else is what happens, to be honest with you. And the state has said to me, and I'm asking you this, I'm not stating it, I'm asking, but I want to give you the opportunity to, and I want to hear what your answer is. They said that Cabarrus County is the 2nd worst performing county in the state on this issue. And so what do you think about that?
Based on, I belong to a group where we share issues, and the state is, other people are having these issues. Now, are they having it on this scale? I don't know. I can't speak to that. Our reports, we had seen a report, maybe it came from you, about being the 2nd worst in application processing. The reporting is not out there, so I can't speak to that. I can say we are a lot worse than we were, and if you look at where we were last year, then yeah, if you compare our numbers to last year, we might be the 2nd worst. But I don't know that, but we're doing everything we can to get us out of that, because we don't want to be here. We don't like to be here. We had the issues from, February, March till May, are internally or externally computer issues. Again, we couldn't do what we needed to do during that time. We're trying everything we can to get out of it. So, I can't say that we're the worst I talk to other counties. We're all emailing each other daily. We can't get this application done. We can't do this. I'm going to say that I think it's passing the buck. We may be the second worst, but it's not purely because we're there alone. We weren't put here, we didn't do it to ourselves. So.
Thank you.
Do you have anything?
How long is the phone policy?
It started the week.
September 23rd.
It started right after you guys approved it. So our temp started, it probably started about the same time.
So it was implemented after we approved it?
Oh, yeah, we didn't start it before.
Okay. For some reason, I was thinking that you waited.
I think we waited a week because we needed to get, now we did talk about it for several weeks, and we had Kasha do press release, but I think it started the 23rd or thereabouts. I don't have that date, but it was shortly after we met with y'all, and we publicized it and everything.
How long do you think it'll be before you get caught up?
We are shooting for less than 2 months. LEAP is starting in December, and we cannot be here because the volume of, we're doing, again, staff overtime, staff coming in. Tomorrow, we're going to sit down with staff, and we've got some other strategies to roll out teams. We're doing anything and everything. We're still waiting for the state to open NC Fast up a little longer for us so we can go in and key later in the day. They haven't done that. We're doing anything we can, and we're training new staff when they come in. They're going right into food stamps, so we're making that our priority. And then they'll learn Medicaid and be able to be some support when Medicaid rolls out fully in February. So we definitely don't want to be here in, 2 months is what I'm saying, because we really have to be. We can't be in this spot when LEAP starts, which is December, because the volume of clientele is just overwhelming. So we just can't be there.
So 2 months should get everybody up to date on their food stamps, if they can live that
That's
long.
my goal. And we're hoping sooner. I'm really trying hard. And I'm sorry, I didn't hear what else you said.
I said 2 months will get everybody up to date on their food stamps if you can live that long.
Well, we hope they can, and we're trying. We've got food pantries. We are hitting, if somebody calls us and there's a crisis, we are trying to get those done as quickly as possible as well.
Just shows you how well the government works, don't it?
Well, we're trying. It's not for lack of trying, I promise. Well, we are the government in this case, so we're trying.
But I'm talking about state government and federal government, and I realize that y'all can only do so much, but, there's no reason for this to even be happening.
Well, I agree. And technology, we've seen the issues with the Affordable Care Act. We're dealing with that in the Medicaid side. So what we see at the federal level, we're seeing at the state level. So, technology is not always our friend.
And I think, too, to go back to kind of address Jason's point, part of the challenge that we had was really when we did the initial rollout, the system did not work for us. It worked better in some counties, it did. But for us, we had issues galore, February, March, April into May. The system itself really did not start to perform well for us for whatever reason, not pointing fingers at anybody, until really June and July. But we were already 4 months in a hole, and if that's put us at the bottom of the state, it has. And again, it's not for lack of effort or trying, it's just simply the system failed us in the beginning. And it was, those issues existed in a lot of counties. I think counties are at various levels, and we've made tremendous progress truly in the past month in a lot of ways, but with still a lot to go. Yes, we do, definitely.
Let me just say this also. If you are having problems with the state and they are not being responsive to you, please email me. I'll contact anybody that I can at the state and tell them we need to get this open. And you work your channels and we'll work our channels and let's work together. But let's do it with some urgency because people need these. The county continues to fund these additional positions and people are not getting their food stamps, and it's really a lose-lose for everybody. If we can all act with urgency for the people, really, which will benefit them all tremendously, let's get this done.
And we concur. We've treated this pretty much since July as a crisis, and done all that we can do at every step. We've involved the state. I've had numerous conversations with Wayne Black, who's the director of the Division of Social Services. Sherry Bratcher actually came to our offices in August, I believe, who's the deputy health DHHS secretary. And we've been working all channels possible to try to get out of this because we do not want to be here. We've always been a model county in terms of processing, and NC Fast has just been a bump to us that we do not like, but we want to get past it and get back to where we need to be, for sure.
And I want to say, I think the state took so many of our recertifications because of y'all and your activity on our behalf. So we do thank you for that, because I don't know we would have gotten as much help from them if we hadn't have been a little vocal. So I think you guys are doing, good for us.
Okay, so as I understand it, your request is that we approve an additional $20,700 for one more month of hiring non-temporaries. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, Commissioners, if there's no additional comments, I will make a motion that we fund the $20,700.
So moved.
Do I have a second? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, we'll see you next month.
Thank you.
Hopefully you'll have good numbers to bring back to us next month.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioners, the next thing we have is the consent agenda, which we talked about at length at our work session. So at this time, I accept a motion that the consent agenda be approved as presented. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Next, we have new business, and the first thing we have is from Transportation, the Rural Operating Assistance Program, or ROAP. Do you want to talk a little bit first before we do the public hearing?
Yes, ma'am, if that's okay.
That'd be great. Yes, that'd be great. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you, Commissioners, for allowing us to come before you this evening. What we're asking for this evening is we would like to apply for the Rural Operating Assistance Program called the ROAP Grant. The total for this is $223,946, and it is a state-funded public transportation grant program administered through the North Carolina Department of Public Transportation. Applying for these funds is set up in different areas. The first area, it helps to assist in the Elderly and Disabled Transportation Assistance Program, or called EDTAP, which provides operating assistance for the transportation of the state's elderly and disabled citizens, and this assistance allows these individuals to reside in their homes for a long period of time, thereby enhancing their quality of life. It also encompasses the Work First Transportation Employment Transportation Assistance Program, and this program provides operating assistance for transitional workforce and general public employment transportation needs. The third area that this also encompasses is the Rural General Public Program, or RGP as we call it, and this provides funds to individuals for the general public who are not Human Service Agency clients, and these services help connect areas in the county that do not have public transportation services, such as the CK Rider, which operates in the city of Kannapolis and Concord. And what we're asking you to do this evening is to hold the public hearing and also a motion to adopt the FY 2014 Rural Operating Assistance Program Certified Statement.
Okay, thank you. We'll do the public hearing first, Commissioners, and then we'll open it up to you for comments. So at this time, I would like to open the public hearing to consider the fiscal year 2014 Rural Operating Assistance Programs, known as ROAP. Is there anyone here to speak for or against the program? Seeing no one, I will close the public hearing. Commissioners, I will now open it up to you for any questions or comments that you have at this time.
Go ahead. Well, first I want to ask the different populations that you mentioned that will be served. How do you decide who?
This is done through a formula program through the state, and we take this funds and incorporate that into our operational programs. We're not allowed to use this in any capital programs or anything of that nature. This all goes strictly to help cover costs of operations for these different categories.
Okay.
On the Department of Aging, you show 5,299 one-way trips. Was that for, did you take them people both ways, or did you just carry people one way?
No, actually, Mr. Burge, we carry them both ways.
You're actually talking about 2,500 people.
Yes, sir.
Same thing with the work, 1,342 people in the work program.
Yes, sir.
So you carry 670 people basically to work and back every day.
Yes, sir.
What happens to people if this program don't operate?
Then they would have to seek opportunities for and for transportation and other means to do so.
Do you know if they can do that?
No, sir, I don't.
I mean, do you think they can do that?
No, sir, not really. A lot of these individuals are individuals who are challenged in a lot of ways, particularly special needs areas and things of that nature. So they rely on this transportation pretty seriously. And, we've been working on this for a number of years to help the individuals, particularly in these categories, to break down those barriers that they've been facing. And we feel that if transportation is the only thing that stands between them and gainful employment, then it's a good opportunity for us to give them a hand up with that.
Otherwise, they're going to be on welfare.
That's correct, sir.
Now, this $2,500 for the disability and the elderly, what happened to them if this program don't run? I know a lot of people don't have no way of getting anywhere other than this program that you're running.
That's correct, sir. As a matter of fact, this week, we actually received a number of phone calls from individuals that we had to send out some information depending on whether we were going to have to suspend some services or not. I've received a number of phone calls from seniors who were concerned about how they were going to get to the doctor's offices, how they were going to get to their to the pharmacy to pick up their prescriptions. And of course, we were encouraging them to watch what was happening in the media, and if the federal government kept the funding flowing, then we wouldn't have a problem with this program. But these programs all are designed to really assist individuals who want to maintain the lifestyle in their homes and not have to go to assisted living or other places. And it's very important to them. And it's very, in some respects, Ms. Burge, it's an opportunity where our drivers build these relationships with these senior citizens, and sometimes that's the only person they get to see in that whole day, so they get to know them quite well.
Now, this rural general public, you got, about 2,600 people use it.
Yes, sir.
Now, those people, you don't haul people around that have cars sitting in the driveway and the garage and stuff like that, do you? These
No,
are
sir.
people that actually need the fund. I mean, need to be taken somewhere.
Yes, sir.
And you're not just hauling them around for recreation.
No, sir. What we're trying to do is we want to, particularly those that live in the more rural areas of our community, we're trying to bring them into the central area so that they can get to the Employment Security Commission. We also interact with the CK Rider Hub service where they can transfer to their vehicles and use their service as well. And we're trying to feed individuals into specific areas where they can get jobs, get employment, and work with them on all these areas.
How many years has this program been working?
Oh, this program has been a state funding program for a number of years. It's been in existence before I came to Cabarrus
Where's
County.
the DOT get the funds from for it?
It's
from
a-
gasoline tax, or is that from
Yes, sir. It comes from the Highway Trust Fund.
trust fund?
Mm-hmm.
Well, as I look at it, just if I would just sit down and look at it, I'd say this is a program we don't need. But as I see the people it's helping, and out of the 100 counties in Cabarrus County, if we vote it down, we'd be the only county not taking it, correct?
Yes, sir.
And it's already funded by the state. It's coming out of the gas tax. And I can't vote against these senior citizens and disabled people not being able to get somewhere, even though I don't like the program. But I still can't vote against it.
Well, I'm going to say I am going to vote against this program. I think that we pay $34 a trip to send a vehicle out to someone that lives in a rural area that is ineligible for our services. It's not because they're indigent. It's just because they live in a rural area. They get a $34 round trip subsidy. That is almost 50% of what this grant is this program, which again has nothing to do with the elderly. It has nothing to do with the disabled. It has nothing to do with people in the Work First program. It has to do with the fact that they live in a rural area and we're going to pay $35 to send a vehicle out to go and pick them up. I would be willing to fund the EdTap portion out of our county budget. I would be happy to do that. I think we have allowed the federal government and the state government too much control over the services that we provide. You can see from this past week, these past 2 weeks, these funds are not going to be here forever. People say, take this money, it's free, except when they stop giving it to us, and then what happens? We end up paying for these programs that weren't programs that we wanted to start with, but somebody said, take this money because it's free. No money is free. It's all Cabarrus County taxpayer money. I don't think spending $35 to go and pick up somebody in a rural area is a good use of these funds, and I would be happy to pay for the EdTap program out of Cabarrus County funds, and I have no problem doing that.
What we have before us is for you to be able to apply for these funds, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Apply, starting when? I mean, when would you, if you apply for the funds and get them, when would you actually get them?
That would start with our fiscal year, July 1.
Okay, so you're currently funded through the end of this fiscal year, through the end of June. And this is the normal time of the year
Yes, ma'am.
when everybody submits an application.
That's correct.
You're basing the dollar amount on historical?
We're basing that on what the state has, their formula program. They give us specifically what we're entitled to do the formula program. So they choose the number that we receive.
Okay, and it's an all or nothing?
Yes, ma'am.
You can't, we can't pick and choose one of these and say, we'll take this one, but we won't do this one.
That's correct.
Right, okay.
Madam Chairwoman, if I could make one more point. I have contacted both our representative and I spoke with somebody in the governor's office about splitting these up because I do feel strongly that part of this program is a very valuable program. And that's the reason I'm willing to put Cabarrus County dollars into it. I just think part of this program is not an efficient use of taxpayer money, and I can't support that part of it.
Okay, well, we have before us a request for a motion to adopt the fiscal year 2014 Rural Operating Assistance Program Certified Statement, and which allows you to apply for the funds.
Yes, ma'am.
But let me ask this question. Isn't the cost of every one of these the same? The cost of each trip, $34?
It's based on our shared ride, yes, sir.
Okay. I will make a motion that we adopt the ROPE certified statement. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Okay, is there any other discussion? We have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Aye. That's a 2-2 vote, which means it does not pass.
I agree with Commissioner Osterreich that we can certainly take a look at funding the part of the program that we feel is most important to Cabarrus County, and I think that that's something we'll certainly have to do in the future.
Well, there's somewhere in 99 counties in the state of North Carolina will be happy that they get to take those funds. The next item that we have is restoration of the memorial fountain at the historic courthouse. And Mr. Marshall.
I will briefly introduce the item, and then I believe Lois Marlowe would like to address you about this also, and I don't know, Diane, whether you would also. This is a proposal that was brought to us by the Historic Concord Preservation Trust and the Black Boys chapter of the North Carolina Society of the Daughters of the American Revolution to restore the fountain on our historic courthouse property. It would be an equal balance of funds from the county and from those two organizations to do this. They would be primarily responsible for the restoration of the fountain itself, and the county would be responsible for the infrastructure, pool, pond equipment, and things that would keep it operating. And we've actually gotten a proposal to do that that would allow it to not require as much maintenance and hopefully, based on this proposal, be more durable in the future by having filtration and chemical additives that would allow that to happen. But I believe they'd also like to address you about their fundraising efforts and about their side of this proposal. The action we're asking you to take this evening would include a budget amendment that, and we discussed this with you at your work session, that it would be $20,000 of county funds.
while you're coming up, my maiden name is Fuller, and I have found some documentation from my mother, Betty Marie Ballard Fuller, who had written to join your organization and was compiling documentation on service of family members and how to verify that. So I thought that was kind of interesting and some things that I have found. So you reminded me of finding that. It was kind of interesting to see all of that.
Welcome you to our organization.
Good evening. I'm Diane Young, the Executive Director of the Concord Downtown Development Corporation. We also manage the historic Concord Preservation Trust. And to my right is Lois Marlowe. Lois is the Vice Regent of the Black Boys chapter of the Daughter of the American Revolution and also the chapter spokesperson. We do appreciate having the opportunity to be in front of you tonight to talk to you about a very important project, a project that's near and dear to our hearts. A little bit of history. The memorial fountain was placed on the lawn of the historic Cabarrus County Courthouse by the Black Boys chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution in May of 1916. The plaque at the fountain reads, "In memory of the Cabarrus Black Boys who destroyed the British ammunition May 17, 1771, in defense of American liberty." The plaque pays homage to 9 young Cabarrus County men who intercepted and destroyed a wagon train of powder and supplies on its way from the port of Charleston, South Carolina, to Hillsborough, North Carolina. These men successfully carried out this rebellion by blackening their faces with soot to disguise themselves. The cast iron fountain has remained on the courthouse lawn since its installation in 1916. While various parts of the fountain have been removed and stored over the years by the Cabarrus County employees, only one piece is missing and in need of replacement or reproduction. At the work session when we first talked to you about this project, we said that the fountain is in a state of disrepair. I like to be a positive person, and I'll just say that the fountain is in a state of readiness for restoration. The Black Boys chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution and the Historic Concord Preservation Trust will partner together to raise $20,000 for the complete restoration and reinstallation of the fountain on its present site, and also the installation of a plaque recognizing those who made this project possible, the Cabarrus County Commission, and also any donors who contribute $2,500 or more to this project. Robinson Iron Works of Alabama will complete the restoration of the fountain. They are a firm that over the years has gathered molds for most of the fountains that were cast in the early part of the 20th century. They have tremendous capabilities in dealing with historic artifacts of this nature, so they would be completing this restoration. And at this time, I'll turn this over to Lois Marlowe, who will talk about our fundraising plans.
Thank you for allowing us to come and speak with you and meet before you tonight. You've heard me say that the daughters are very interested and passionate about their monuments and their markers. And we are, as a society, we are committed to upholding the objectives of our society, which is historic preservation, education, and patriotism. Our society, the National Society, was founded in 1890, and it was incorporated as an act of Congress in 1896. We are a nonprofit, non-political service organization of women, and we have always been solvent. I will say, if you don't know about our headquarters in Washington, we own the whole square, a whole city block, and that's something good to say about women. We're not here today to ask you to gimme, gimme, gimme. We're here to ask you to join with us in raising the funds necessary for this fountain restoration. Although the daughters own the fountain, it is beneficial to all of us to have this restoration done. It's our duty to our city and our county to have something beautiful out there and working again. Since we last appeared before you, we've been very busy. We now have in place a mechanism for raising our funds. And I do have a flyer that I would like to show you. May we approach? Since then, we now have a post office box. We have opened a bank account. And as I told you before, we have $2,000. That is now up to $2,500. We have formed a committee for fundraising, and we have a lot of ideas, which I won't go into every single one of them here tonight, but they're really good ideas. So, as you can see, and I would like to say, tell people how they may write in to us, give the address. Make your checks out to Cabarrus Black Boys Chapter, NSDAR, Post Office Box 6753, Concord, North Carolina, 28026, 6705. Make those checks to Cabarrus Black Boys Chapter, NSDAR, and in the memo, put Memorial Fountain. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We talked about this at our work session, Commissioners, and I would presume that Commissioner Meismer would like to make a motion.
First, let me just thank you again. I know we talked about this once before, but I really applaud your efforts, and thank you so much for taking this on, and I'm looking forward to seeing the finished product. Now, I know you had mentioned where to send the donations. I would like to ask where there will be any sort of ceremony or anything after the new fountain?
Absolutely. It is our society's, we always, when we refurbish anything, we are the best people to rededicate. We love ceremony, and I've got with me some of the members here so they can verify the fact. We do dedications and ceremonies and protocol often.
Well, that's great, and it's a beautiful building, so please keep us updated and informed of your timeline and what progress you make. So thank you so much, and with that, I'll make a motion to approve the county's participation with this project and related budget amendment, and to authorize the county manager and county attorney to complete all necessary agreements.
Okay, Commissioners, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion, second. Do you have other comment?
I just had one comment. I just wanted to be clear that we had talked about the fact at the work session that that was contingent upon their fundraising of the amounts. And ladies, I appreciate this. You all are off to a great start. Thank you so much for informing us about that. But it is contingent upon their fundraising, their part of the money as well.
I'll add that to my motion.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, thank you, ladies.
Thank you so much. And let me say, we will raise ours.
I have complete confidence in you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, the next item we have is planning and development, revision of reinspection fees.
Good evening. You should have received by email a report as requested by Commissioner Burridge on the failure rates, and as you suspected, you were correct. The residential building in particular was significantly higher than the commercial building. Some of the trades were about even, but overall, residential did have a higher failure rate than commercial. So that was, I think, the information you requested. So, are there any other
Commissioner
questions?
Burge, I know that you were, we can go to you first for comments.
Can we just put that increase on residential and not put it on commercial?
I would have to do some research with the council, with the School of Government, probably. I can check into that.
What we need to do is increase residential permits.
We are in the process, and in January, we'll be bringing an entire revised schedule for you to consider.
Before us is re-inspections and going back multiple times to the same place. So the recommendation by staff is currently it's $50 for any re-inspection. Staff is proposing an increase to $100 for the first re-inspection and $125 for each additional reinspection. And I know that's why I was going to you first, because you had made comments about the possibility of having a different number than the number that staff recommends. So
I'd like to see the first time on commercial stay at $50. I don't care what you do at residential.
Well, we need a motion from you, if you want to make a motion.
I'll make a motion that we leave the commercial at $50 and increase the residential. That's where the problem is. I mean, if that's where most of the problem is, then that's what the increase ought to be on, and raise it to 100.
100 for the first,
Yeah, first.
and each additional,
And-
you want to leave it at 100 or 125?
No, I'd go to 125 on the second.
Okay, so just to restate, your motion is that re-inspections for commercial would stay at $50 for each re-inspection
For the first.
for the first. What about,
After that, let it all be the same,
what amount for after the first one?
$100.
$100 for the
And
second
And then
re-inspection.
125 after that.
The third re-inspection would be 125.
Okay.
Okay, and then for residential, the first re-inspection would be 100, and the second, any additional re-inspections would be 125. Okay, I just want to make sure that I knew where you were going with it, because I knew that was your area. Jason, do you have any comments or changes? And you made that in the form of a motion.
Yeah, I'll make it a form of
Okay,
motion.
wait, let me, wait 1 second. Robert's Rules of Order. Is there a second to the motion? I'll second your motion. Okay, now Jason, thank you.
I was curious at the work session whether these $100 and $125 are realistic expectations of what it costs the county. I mean, the one word that I just don't like the word punitive. I mean, I made this comment, the people get punished by the government enough, and I do want them to be some deterrent factor, but I don't want it to be punitive necessarily, so.
That probably wasn't the best selection of words. Our deterrent is probably more what we're looking for. This is just simply to save us trips. We are working on a cost per trip. I'm not down to the details yet. I couldn't get everybody in the room that I wanted to make sure that we had the right number. And so I think it to be around $85. But I'll give you an exact number coming up soon so that you will know, but it's roughly that in that area.
Thank you.
Commissioner Meisner, do you have anything? Okay, well, we do have a motion on the table, and just to reiterate, for commercial, first reinspection would stay at the $50, second would be 100, third and on would be 125. And these are reinspections for the same thing?
Correct.
Same item?
This is, yes,
So,
this is not
if you
charged
called
for a
in-
new item. If they
Right.
stumble upon something, they don't charge it for a new item, only for the same item.
If I call in for plumbing 5 times because I don't want to hire a foreman to oversee my projects, then that's where I would pay additional.
Correct.
In residential, the first reinspection would be 100, and the second and multiples thereof would be 125.
Correct.
Okay, so we have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Thank you.
Next, we have appointments to boards and committees. The first one for Cardinal Innovations Healthcare Solutions, former Commissioner Bob Cabarrus has resigned from Cardinal Innovations Healthcare Solutions Community Oversight Board as a result of his work schedule. So at this time, I accept a motion to remove Robert Cabarrus from the Cardinal Innovations Healthcare Solutions Community Oversight Board roster and thank him for his service.
So moved.
Have a motion second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. The next one is Cabarrus County Tourism Authority Board of Directors. Mr. Phil Cunningham with Great Wolf Lodge, has been relocated. So we need a motion to remove Philip Cunningham from the Cabarrus County Tourism Authority's roster and thank him for his many years of service. And the recommendation is to appoint Ken Broom to seat number 8 to complete the unexpired term ending June 30th, 2016, including an exception of the residency provision of the appointment policy. Mr. Broom is also the new manager at Great Wolf Lodge, and that was the reason for the recommendation, is that that's the business that had the seat to begin with, and to continue with that. So at this time, may I have a motion to remove Philip Cunningham and to appoint Mr. Ken Broom to seat number 8 of the Cabarrus County Tourism Authority's roster?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Next, we have Adult Care Home Community Advisory Committee. The term of appointment for Jack Boyer expired August the 31st, 2013. Mr. Boyer is interested in serving another term. An application was received from Mary Stewart and forwarded to the Regional Ombudsman for consideration. The Regional Ombudsman has pre-qualified Ms. Stewart's application, and she is eligible for appointment. I also want to point out to our listening audience, we currently have 6 vacant positions on this committee, so we encourage citizens to apply to serve on the Adult Care Home Community Advisory Committee. So at this time, may I have a motion to reappoint Jack Boyer for a 3-year term ending August 31st, 2016, and to appoint Mary Stewart for an initial 1-year term ending October 31st, 2014.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. And for the Nursing Home Community Advisory Committee, an application was received from Mary Balst, which was also forwarded to the Regional Ombudsman for consideration. There are currently 7 vacant positions on this committee. Ms. Balst has been pre-qualified and is eligible for appointment. So at this time, I accept a motion to appoint Mary Balst to the Nursing Home Community Advisory Committee for an initial 1-year term ending October 31st, 2013.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Under reports, you have a number of reports, Commissioners, in your packet, which I'm sure that a number of these you've already looked at. At this time, accept any comments from Commissioners concerning boards to which you are liaisons or municipalities. Is there anything that you would like to report?
I'll just say, with the Cardinal Innovations, I know the next item would be requests for applications. Seeing that Mr. Caruth has resigned his position, we've had issues in the past with having a quorum. So anyone that's interested, certainly put forth the application, get in touch with Megan, our board clerk, because it'll be important that we have a quorum for that meeting.
Can you just share a little bit about Cardinal Innovations? I was going to ask you that when I was
Sure.
doing the appointment, and
That's
I'm
fine.
sorry I jumped right through.
Well, it's very complex, I guess, a very complex appointment. The Cardinal Innovations basically is the former PBH mental health, so it's a good way to learn about all the mental health managed care entities within the community and the area. This is one of the appointments I just recently taken over, so there's a lot changing as well. So it's constantly changing.
This one, if I remember correctly, serves multiple counties, and so we have a few positions on the multiple county board.
That's correct.
Okay, and you do serve. So we greatly encourage anyone that has an interest in the mental health area to submit an application. They're on the county website, and we would really like to be able to appoint somebody good that can go to the meetings and get involved. So that's a great thing. Do you have anything from your various committees, anything that you need to report? Okay. Easy. Yes, sir?
I would just like to add, I was going to announce that we have 5 applications now for the Human Services Advisory Board. However, you just appointed one of them to another committee. So I'll get with Mr. Rose, and we'll start talking with those applicants and make sure that they're still committed to wanting to do that, and then also talk to the one that you just appointed to see which one she would prefer. So, and then we'll bring those back to you hopefully in November so we can get that started as soon as possible.
Well, we have let people serve on more than one, so that's an option too. A couple of the things, Youth Council, you've got some positions on the Youth Council. Transportation Advisory Board has some positions. Nursing Home Community Advisory, Juvenile Crime Prevention Council, let's see, Home and Community Care Block Grant Committee, Food Policy Council has a number of positions with expiring terms. Council for a Sustainable Local Economy. We still are looking for that Concord Planning and Zoning Commission ETJ position. Cardinal Innovations, as you mentioned, we have the one vacant position. Cabarrus County Senior Centers Advisory Council, we have 5 positions with expiring terms, and the Adult Care Home Community Advisory Committee. So there's really no excuse if someone's interested in getting involved for not getting involved in your county government and all the many, many activities that go on. And there's lots of information on the website for you. Okay? Any general comments by board members at this time, not related to? Well, I'm going to add one. And this is completely personal in nature, but my 99-year-old aunt, who would have been 100 in January, passed away this past week. It was my only aunt that I still had living. She was a feisty lady. As someone said to me, if you live to be 99, you must be pretty feisty. And she was probably, based on if you know Cabarrus County history, up until the 80s, this was a Democratic county. She was probably the only Republican in my family other than myself, and I will greatly miss her at family discussions because she was feisty all the way. So for my Aunt Alice, I do want to say that she will be greatly missed in my family. And some of you that are longtime Cabarrus County residents may have known her Alice Honey. So I wanted to take that personal time to mention that. If there are no other comments from board members, we do have a need to go into closed session tonight pursuant to General Statute 143-318-11A3 to discuss pending litigation. May I have a motion to go into closed session? Yes, sir.
I have gotten several emails and spoke with several people about the fact that Channel 22 is not available without a box now on cable. And we are working with David Baxter from the county to try to provide that service back to you. I'm going to speak with him tomorrow in the morning about it. So if you are interested in watching our broadcasts and your service has been terminated, you may not be able to see this because your service has been terminated, but please email me and let me know, because I run into people all the time, and I appreciate very much the fact that people sacrifice their time to watch these meetings and to be informed on what's going on with their government, and we would like to find a way that is responsive to meeting your needs.
And it will be available on the county's YouTube webpage and YouTube channel, so that is correct. Okay, at this time, may I have a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
Have a motion, do I have a second? Second. Motion and second, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you all very much, we appreciate you being here tonight, and we will see you next month. We are now in closed session.